Cool. And we're recording. Life is good. All right. So tomorrow at 11:15. First of all, let me hit mute because we got choir practice going on in the background. When you guys want to jump in, just take yourself off mute and talk to me. So tomorrow at 11:15, check the time on your Waxman calendar that goes out every day and make sure that I'm correct. Horst Schulze, former president and CEO of the Ritz-Carlton, author of Excellence Wins, will be a guest speaker for the Waxman Group. And for anybody who's on this call who doesn't get the daily calendar for all of the classes that we offer through the Waxman Group, just drop me an email and I'll add you to the list. John Dietz at kw.com. John Diet with a Z at kw.com. All right, so I want to share just a few things that I learned from Horst Schulze on customer service, and I want to encourage you to be a part of this call tomorrow. Extremely powerful. Pat Flood, who is a powerhouse, and Horst Schulze will be pouring into you guys. Holy cow. Wow. All right. So 4 things all great organizations have in common. Number 1, they keep the customers. Their number 1 objective of every employee of the Ritz-Carlton is to keep the customers. How many companies are you in business with that you believe the number 1 objective is to keep the customers, right? I have AT&T at home, not because it's the best, and I'm not saying anything negative about AT&T. It's just what it is what it is. And our service has been out for more than a week, right? Do you think their number 1 objective is to keep the customers? I don't know. Maybe it is, but it doesn't feel that way to me right now. Okay. So the number 1 objective of every employee of the Ritz-Carlton, if you ask them, they would tell you to keep the customers. Number 2 is find new customers, mostly through the existing ones. Well, in the real estate world, we call that referrals. So to find new customers, mostly through existing ones. By the way, active prospecting and follow-up to your database and your past clients is the path to referrals, not passive. Even if passive has been working, passive may have been working just because it was a hot market and people were calling you. When things cool off, and they always do, the phone's going to stop ringing. Besides, how many deals could you be losing because you're not making the calls? Even if you are getting called, even if you are getting referrals, how many are you losing because you're not making calls? Listen to the testimony that Cindy Hayden shared with us today. And she's got 3 deals, 4 deals, more than that are under contract from prospecting. One of them is a $650,000 deal, I believe, that she's got both sides of.
True.
True. Holy cow. Change the way you look at things you look at change. Don't judge away opportunity because you think for sell by owners are not nice, or expired listings are not nice, or for sell by owners are unreasonable, or blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do that because all of your business is repeat referral business. It's below you. Stop that. How much opportunity are you saying no to because you're judging opportunity away? Now, all of this started because the second objective is to find new customers, mostly through your existing ones. And I want you guys to hear, it's important that you get on the phone and call your customers. You don't wait for them to call you. You get on the phone and call your sphere of influence. You don't wait for them to call you. And remember, it's a care call. Paige, how you doing? How's your family? How's everything going at work? You know, I was thinking about you and I just wanted to check in and let you know that I'm a phone call away if there's anything I can do for you. It's a care call. It's not that hard to do. Pick up the phone and make the calls. Number 3, that all great organizations do is they create more value in order to charge more. I love that one. So price only matters in the absence of value. So if the product you're selling is junk, you better be ready to give it away. If your real estate service is below standard, then you better be ready to work for a discount. Now, when you exceed expectations, not meet expectations, when you exceed expectations, you can charge more. And your customer will gladly pay it because price only matters in the absence of value. So the third thing that all great organizations do is they create more value in order to charge more. I love that he just comes right out and says that. Is the Ritz-Carlton cheap? Do you go to the Ritz-Carlton and pay $50 a night? No, it's expensive. By the way, he was sharing how much money it costs to stay there over the holidays. It was like over $2,000 a night, something ridiculous. And by February, they are 75% booked for the month of December. Did you guys hear that? Over $2,000 a night. And by February, over 50 locations, they are 75% booked for the month of December. I don't know if any of you have been to Disney World lately, but what's it cost to go? Like you have to mortgage your house and make payments over 30 years to take your family to Disney World for the weekend. I don't see anybody complaining about that. They can charge whatever they want to charge. Mickey Mouse is worth it. Number 4, be efficient. Now, how do you create raving fans? So great book, put it on your reading list. Ken Blanchard wrote the book. How do you create raving fans? Number 1, do for the customer what the customer wants, not what you think they want. Do for the customer what the customer wants. Wow, how simple is that? How's customer service, guys? When's the last time you went to the dry cleaner or to the grocery store or to the coffee shop or to breakfast, lunch, or dinner? The movies, stayed at a hotel, went on vacation with your family. When is the last time that you went to the bank that you got incredible, amazing customer service? Do for the customer what the customer wants, not what you think they want. Customer loyalty equals trust in a company and its product. I think we've talked about that before. Customer loyalty equals trust in a company and its product. So what are 3 things that customers want? They want a product to be defect-free. If you go to Starbucks and you buy a cup of coffee, you expect that cup of coffee to taste like Starbucks coffee. You expect it to be in a cup that doesn't leak. You expect it to be hot, unless you ordered iced coffee, I know. You expect it to be defect-free. Matter of fact, we have subconscious expectations, and our subconscious expectations are stronger than our conscious expectations. You expect to get that product in a timely fashion. In other words, timeliness. You want it when you want it. So Horst Schulze was sharing a story that when someone was checking into the Ritz-Carlton 30, 40 years ago, they would time the amount of time that it took to check them in. And if it took more than 4 minutes, the customer would become aggravated. So every time somebody would come to register, they would put them on a stopwatch. And the moment it hit 3 minutes, they had a system in place to walk around the counter, offer them something to drink, ask them if they would like a water, can I get you a coffee? Because they know if this goes past 4 minutes, we're not exceeding expectations. We're not creating raving fans. Now, he also shared that today, right now, The amount of time it takes before somebody starts to become aggravated is 20 seconds. Holy cow. They've got to create a system for that. Okay. The third thing that customers want is to be treated nice by the employees who deliver the product. Sounds simple, right? Yeah. By the way, most important, to be treated nice. If you purchase a product that has a minor defect, in other words, if you go out to dinner and your dinner isn't perfect, there's a defect. Steak wasn't cooked right, and it was delivered a little late. In other words, you had to wait longer than you thought you should have. If you have a server who is over the top friendly, apologetic, grateful, you have a manager who works for the restaurant who is friendly, apologetic, and grateful, you will forgive that restaurant for delivering a product that had a defect. You will forgive them for not delivering the product in a timely fashion. And you will go out to dinner again at that restaurant. Now, if you get a product that's prepared well and you receive it in a timely fashion and you are treated rudely, you will never go again. By the way, I hope you guys are connecting the dots, because even though it doesn't sound like it, this is a conversation about real estate. Hello, are you paying attention? All right.
Quick question, John.
Yes.
What were those three things? The people will forgive companies or employees who are apologetic. And what were the other two?
Grateful and friendly.
Friendly. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So how do you define service? If you can't define it, you can't deliver it. Boy, if I owned a team, I would ask every person on my team, define service. What does it mean to you? If you can't define it, you can't deliver it. Go to most companies. Go to Target. Nothing against Target. Go to Walmart. Go to Publix. Go to any department store and ask any of the employees how their organization defines great service. I bet you get, I don't know. All right. Great service begins the moment a customer makes contact with you. Great service begins the moment a customer makes contact with you. Horst Schulze shared that means to the Ritz-Carlton, the moment they walk in the door and they're within 12 feet of checking in and they make eye contact with the person behind the counter. Service begins at that moment. It begins the moment a customer makes contact with you. You want to convey trust and care. How quickly you answer the phone and how you answer the phone matters. If it takes more than 3 rings for you to answer the phone, you're not conveying that you care about me or that I can trust you. I'm aggravated. How you answer the phone matters. It's always a great day at Keller Williams Realty. This is John. How can I help you? You guys, if you don't have an outgoing voicemail on your phone, please fix that today. I don't want to call somebody's phone and hear, hello, you have reached 954-555-1212. Don't want to hear that. I want to hear, thank you for calling Wayne Hockrow, the greatest real estate agent in South Florida. I am so sorry that I missed your call, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you and making you my best call of the day. Yes, go over the top. All right. That was not in my notes. All right. Number 2, complying to the wishes of the customer with enthusiasm and gratitude. Holy cow. When's the last time you went someplace, you purchased a product, or you were waited on by an enthusiastic and grateful server? Not so often. And number 3, a grateful server thanks you for the opportunity to serve. So welcome, comply, goodbye. How do you define great service? Welcome. It begins the moment a customer makes contact with you. Comply. Complying to the wishes of the customer with enthusiasm and gratitude. Goodbye. A grateful server thanks you for the opportunity to serve. All right, so I've got a video I'm going to share with you. You guys are going to like this. Hold on. Screen share and computer sound. I'm so proud of myself for being able to do this. Oh, did I say that loud? He's going to tell you a story of his customer service experience of going to a bank. You'll like this.
And I always, every time Nelly, when I make a speech, somebody who had heard me before comes to me and says, tell the bank story. Because somehow it makes sense to people. So let me tell you the bank story. Bank story is very simple. I was 25 years ago or so, I was asked to talk to the management of a major bank in Chicago. I knew the bank. I've never been in the bank, but I knew them because on my radio station that I have set on my car, they advertised their service while I lived in Chicago. Now I went back to Chicago, and the day before I was there, and I thought I better go into that bank because tomorrow morning I speak.
Okay, make sure that you're paying attention to the fact that they advertise great service. That's important.
To their 200 managers about customer service. I better walk into that bank, and so that if somebody asks me, have you been in the bank before, I can say, yeah, of course I have. So sure enough, I go to the bank. Now go with me for a moment in your mind. Understand what service is. Understand that is what service is. And they advertise service. What else let me ask you, what else does a bank do? That's their very product is service. Their very product. They don't print money, they don't make money. Their very product is to serve a person relative to their financial situation. And here I'm going into the bank, and go with me. There's a big bank. It's an stately, beautiful. The surrounding is wow. You can feel as you walk in that there's money all around you, maybe even stuffed in the marble pillars. And I look around, and all the way over there was a huge counter, mahogany, and in front of the maze. And I step into the maze, and mind you, welcome. Comply, farewell. First step thing is, you remember, even the guys remember that much still here in the room. So I'm in that maze, now I go into the maze and I count the people in front of me in the maze, and there were 24 people, literally, in front of me in the maze. And then I counted the tellers. There were actually 24 working tellers. Very, very fast, I was number one. I am number one all of a sudden, very fast. Timeliness, good timeliness. And I look left. I don't know why I looked left. If my wife wasn't here, I would tell you probably there was a pretty teller over there, but I looked left. And somebody on the right screams, next! Oh. That was the first step of service was next. I went to her counter, I went to her teller. Men are worse, by the way. There happened to be a lady. And she looked down, finishing a transaction for 2 seconds, whatever. And I could tell I don't know her. And she obviously doesn't know me. And when she looked up, though, it was totally clear that she hated me. And she said, yes, yes. First step of service. Next and yes. And I said, I just want to change $50. And she sighed for a moment. 10, 40, 40, 40, 45, 50, and take the money and look. Next! Okay, that wasn't me, that was for the next guy. And I counted my product was correct. I had proper change. There was no flaw in the product. The timeliness was correct too. But the customer satisfaction was negative. In fact, I told the story after the next 15 years, I mentioned the name of the bank. And literally, I talked about the bank. Not about Susie or whatever her name was. That's the thing. Whatever your organization, the guys in your organization does besides you, establishes who you are. It helps to establish who you are. Be aware of it. You establish who the company are.
Okay, talk to me.
I love that. I love that. You know, I'll often have clients apologize. They'll ask me something and they'll say, well, I'm sorry, such and such, or I'm sorry to ask you a question. You know, I always go out of my way to say, don't apologize. That's what I'm here for. You know, don't ever. But I think, you know, people are so used to being a bother. And every time, if I just sense if I accept that, then I'm telling them they are a bother. You know, I'm always like you saying, I'm grateful to do it. That's my job. Thank you. I mean, that's what we do. So
Yeah.
I love his, and I think the other thing is that those of us that have transaction coordinators or other people, how important they are a reflection on us, right? So
Absolutely.
true.
Good point. Absolutely good point. Yes. Good job, Cindy.
John,
Yes.
what he's telling us and what we need to understand is that it's not about the product. Anybody can go ahead and put a house on the market and sell it. Anybody can be a Zillow. We have to focus on is the customer service. So when we have a client, we need to be able to treat them like they are. They're important to us. John, how you doing? It's Alex. You're not next or whatever the case is. It's about the experience that they have with us.
I agree 1,000%. And I've shared with you guys many times to lead every conversation with gratitude. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you. I'm sure you're busy. I only need 2 minutes of your time. I'm being grateful. I'm being considerate. I'm being nice. It's not that hard to do. And then those of you who, like me, you've had somebody answer the phone with yes, right? This person is obviously very busy and very important. And how does that make you feel?
Like we just bothered them.
Like you bothered them.
Yeah, we're bothering them.
Yeah.
I do it with agents now since you've been saying that. I say, thank you for calling me back so fast. And it automatically shifts their tone no matter how they called me. I noticed that.
It's so important, guys. It is so important. Just if you don't get anything else from today's call, be nice, and how you treat people matters. Wayne, I think you were going to share. I know I heard your voice.
Yeah, I did. I got lost in Angela's. It's not hard to be nice, and when they answer, and I'm guilty of myself picking up a phone in a busy moment. Yeah, how can I help you? It's like, don't want your help at all. You know, it's how it comes through on the other end. I mean, it was probably harmless for the person answering, but perception is reality, and one's own perception is one's own reality.
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
Yeah, about that perception so strong. And when he said, you know, it was clear that although they didn't know each other, she hated him.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of, I was in a store online to return something, and the clerk called me when it was my turn, next Precious. She called me Precious. I loved her. And it was, you know, she returned my item and everything was great. And when we were done, she said, next person. So I had misheard her, but because of that perception, I loved her.
That's awesome.
And it was the same service.
I love that. That's awesome. You should go back to that store and let her know how that made you feel and coach her on how to greet everybody that comes into her store. Because if she were to do that with everyone, wow. Okay. All right, guys. It is 9 o'clock. It's time to get on the phone. Time to start smiling and dialing. Hit your contacts, make your appointments, add people to the database. Guys, I believe the second 6 months of the year are going to be the most amazing 6 months in real estate. I believe that we are getting ready to go into halftime with incredible enthusiasm because we are finishing June as our best month ever. And I just want to tell you again, in case anybody missed it, Cindy's GCI year to date is already more than she did last year. We have to be agents of hope, and we also have to be voices of hope. In a world that is drowning in negativity, we have to talk louder than the negativity so that people will hear a voice of hope. Every single time I see a post on Facebook wishing 2020 would go away so that we could get to 2021, I want to scream. Start celebrating 2020. What if you miss the rest of the year? What if you could fast forward to 2021? What if you didn't wake up tomorrow? Is it truly always a great day? Yes. And if you don't believe me, just try missing one of them. Make it a great day.
John, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.